Hey, Lauren Richmond here, and I don't know about you, but I didn't particularly like Easter Sunday this year. I'm sure the cold and snowy temperatures were no help, but I don't think that's it. In reality, my grumpy and irritable mood that my wife called me out on likely had more to do with my mourning the loss of what was Easter Sunday in all its glory. As I talked about in my Easter Sunday message, Easter is about celebrating new life. It's about Jesus rising from the grave and conquering death. Culturally, it's also about Easter egg hunts and family gatherings. This year we didn't have much, if any, of that. Yeah, my kids did a FaceTime egg dyeing with their cousins, and we did a little egg hunt in our yard, but it all felt incomplete, lacking, at least to me. Some of my colleagues and I have talked about whenever this whole shutdown list will celebrate our first Sunday back as being its own sort of Easter. More and more it's seeming that that day may not come for some time, and what we'll have in the time being is a sporadic liftings of the quarantine followed by bouts of distancing. I'll be honest and say in situations like these it's hard to know what to say. As a pastor, I often want to have something helpful to say, something encouraging and uplifting. And I'll be honest, I'm at a loss myself. Recently, I was reading in Time magazine an article by the Christian scholar N.T. Wright. He wrote that Christianity offers no answers about the coronavirus, but added that it's not supposed to. Instead, he highlighted the rich tradition of lament within the Bible. Now, lament means a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Perhaps we remember reading the book of Lamentations in the Old Testament. Now, in 21st century American Christianity, this idea of lament seems a bit incongruous with all that we've been taught. We sang those songs, God will make a way, the battle is won, I'm going to see a victory. Except in the Bible, there are countless times that doesn't happen. Lament is woven into the fabric of the Bible, and more, the article says. The mystery of the biblical story is that God also laments. Listen, despite our talk of everything that happens being God's will, even in the Bible we read of things happening that are most assuredly not God's will. And even God grieves the results. I know this is a hard thing for many of us to wrap our heads around. But as the article suggests, the Christian thing isn't about trying to explain the reason for everything that's happening. Rather, it's just to lament, to grieve, to be in sorrow. And as God's Spirit laments within us, so we become, even in our self-isolation, small shrines where the presence and healing love of God can dwell. The point is we don't always need to look for silver linings or be optimistic or look on the bright side. Sometimes we can just sit in our grief and sadness and know that God understands. And more, that God is grieving right alongside of us. Thanks.